Before we begin, let's have a look at what we are going to study today. These are the common fungi that you may have come across while on a walk, walking in your gardens, or playing in the park. The kingdom fungi is unique in two respects. They are heterotrophic, like animals, but like plants, they have a cell wall. Now, unlike animals, they are mostly saprotrophic or parasitic, never holozoic. Also, the cell wall is made of a unique substance known as chitin. Now, do you recall what are cell walls of plant cells made of? Definitely not chitin. Some other key features of fungi are they are eukaryotic, they are usually multicellular, filamentous. The only exception is yeast, which is a unicellular fungi. There are some more fungi we'll be discussing in this and in the next session. This is mucor, a common fungi. Its body is made of long thread-like structures which appear like this when seen closely. These individual threads are known as hyphae, but these hyphae always form a network, a mesh, and this mesh of intermingled hyphae is known as mycelium. So hyphae is a single filament, mycelium is a network of hyphae or network of filament. Now this is the vegetative form of most of the fungi. Now as you can see in this fungi, the individual hyphae are divided into compartments and the partitions are called as septum. These septa are actually cell walls made of chitin. So each compartment may have one or many nuclei. Such hyphae are known as septate. Some fungi may have aseptate hyphae. Here, the cytoplasm inside the hyphae is continuous. There is no septum, and the entire length of hyphae has many nuclei, showing that it is not a single cell but many cells with partitions between them missing. This type of condition here is known as cenocytic. So hyphae in fungi can be A. septate or B. aseptate. Whether septate or aseptate, hyphae are delicate structures with only chitin to protect them. The cell division for the growth of hyphae occurs at the tips of hyphae. Now these tips are delicate structures. So can you think of one risk that is for the fungi growing on land? One risk in their growth when these fungi grow on land. Hint, this is why fungi only grows on moist surfaces. Reproduction in fungi occurs by three means: vegetative, asexual and sexual. Asexual reproduction occurs through spores. Three types of spores are generally seen: Conidia, sporangiospores and zoospore. Sexual reproduction occurs through oospores, ascospores and basidiospores. Now please don't be confused. Even the product of sexual reproduction has the spore suffix on it, but these oospore, ascospores and basidiospores are actually formed by fusion of hyphae or gametes and are mode of sexual reproduction. In fungi, the sexual cycle comprises of three steps. First, two hyphae come together and fuse. This is known as plasmogamy. Now there are two nuclei in one compartment. This is known as a dikaryon stage. The nuclei have not yet fused with each other. Nuclei of both these hyphae are lying adjacent to each other in the fused compartment. This stage is known as the dikaryophase and the structure is known as dikaryon, two nuclei. Now there are two options. Either the fungi will stay in this dikaryotic stage with nuclei for some time and then fuse later, or fusion of these two nuclei can occur immediately. Now this dikaryophase is an important criteria in classification of fungi. In fact, the mode of reproduction itself is the primary criteria in fungi classification. Either way, the nuclear fusion occurs forming a diploid structure. These structures are known as fruiting bodies and can look like these. Again, the structure of fruiting bodies is an important classification criteria. A quick recap. Now, how do fungi influence our life? First, the benefits or the uses of fungi. You know, unicellular fungi, that is yeast, is used to make bread, where it is in fact known as baker's yeast. We eat some of the fungi, the common mushrooms and toadstool. Sources of antibiotics, chemicals which kill bacteria and protect us from damages due to bacterial infection. Antibiotics are obtained from fungi usually. Then there are some harms due to fungi. They cause diseases in plants and animals. They spoil our food items. With this, we come to the end of this session. I am giving you some questions to help you assess your understanding. Try solving them once you have understood the content of the video. Happy learning. Thank you. Bye-bye.